it's Nancy from Baldwin Homes at Keller Williams NJ Metro Group. We're going to talk a little bit about the storms that we've been having around here. As you guys know, we've been greatly affected by Hurricane Ida, and it definitely did a lot of damage in our area. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I've had clients and colleagues and friends say to me that their insurance won't cover any of the flood damage that happened. So I've been talking to some insurance people to try to understand a little bit better. And so first of all, there's something that there's a distinction within policies that I didn't know about. And that is insurance companies make a distinction between something that's considered flood damage versus water backup. Okay. So in other words, if you have water coming in through your windows because it's raining so hard and it's just breaking into your windows and filling your basement, that's considered flood damage. But if you've got water just coming out of your toilet because there's essentially like a sewer backup, that apparently is not considered standard flooding. That's considered a backup. And I've heard that insurance companies are using that as an excuse to either reduce or even get out of paying for the damage altogether. They're saying that the water backup is not the same as a flood. So I thought that was really interesting. And I've seen a lot of people say that they're not really getting any help from their insurance companies because of it. Okay, so I wanted to take this opportunity then to talk a little bit about what I think are the introductory changes that are coming to how we assess flood risk for homes in this country. Okay, so FEMA has basically said that they're redoing how they assess a risk for a property. All right. And what they're saying is that they want to try to take the cost of maintaining flood insurance and distribute it more equally among people. All right. Because right now, different flood zones pay different prices. And I think what they're saying is just depending on whatever flood zone you're in, they're going to equalize the prices so that they're spreading those costs out a little bit more. And I hear that the states, of course, that are going to take the biggest hit are going to be Florida, Texas, Louisiana, of course, New York, and New Jersey. We are all going to have probably the biggest increases when it comes to flood insurance prices. All right. So with this new sort of distribution, while 23% of policies will probably reduce in this country, 4% of the policies will have the biggest increase. 4% of the policies will suffer the biggest increase. Okay. So since we're moving away from traditional flood maps, right? So for instance, here, let me just give you an idea. The way the flood maps work is they say, is this area an area that would likely see a significant flood event in 100 years? So that's why you see the 100-year flood zone. The way that they assess this is they say, if you live in a 100-year flood zone, then during a period of a 30-year mortgage in which you purchase a house, you have a 30-year mortgage, then you have a 26% of having one of these major flood events occur while you were owning your house. Okay, that's how they've been seeing it. That's how they've been sort of doing that analysis. But from here on out, apparently they're going to try to approach each house in a more unique manner, because it definitely feels like a lot of the water issues that we're seeing are in places that traditionally aren't even considered flood zones, right? So here are some of the factors that they're going to be considering. They're going to be considering inland flood risk. Okay, any sort of historical storm surges that you've had, that you've had in your area, the cost that it would be to rebuild your home, any sort of historical losses that you've had for your particular home. In other words, have you had a lot of claims? Have you had a lot of insurance claims? An elevation. So that means how high your property is compared to, compared to the land around your topographical elevation. Okay. And also they're going to look at your natural surroundings. There are it's interesting because some towns got hit worse than others because they're traditionally located within, the valley of two higher sort of land features. And so therefore they may have gotten hit a little bit harder because the water, you were just at the low point, even though you aren't technically in a flood zone. All right. So listen, this is all very preliminary. I would tell you that the FEMA rollout of all this new information has been scattered at best, and I probably need to have more conversations with insurance folks to make sure I understand it better. And as soon as I do, I'll absolutely share it with you. Okay. But in the meantime, if you want to find out more about protecting yourself against flood and also water surges, feel free to reach out to us. We'll hook you up with some really good insurance experts. Listen, if people say things like, I've heard people say things like, if you're not in a flood zone, you can't buy flood insurance. That's actually not true. There are plans that work for that. And like I said before, if you're interested in finding out more about it, just give us a call, 917-992-3098. We'll hook you up with good insurance folks and we'll get you protected. All right. Sorry, guys. We're out of time. I will talk to you guys next week. Oh, by the way, if you have a coat that you want to donate for our annual coat drive, also reach out. Once again, 917-992-3098. Have a great one.